System check runs. Lots of problems. Neurocheck runs. Seems alright, thankfully. So, the good news, you're alive. The bad news, you're stranded in the middle of this wasteland. And you only have 8 days of life support. Time to get to work if you want to survive. Breached is a first-person sci-fi adventure game from Drama Drifters, a studio based in the CIS countries. Originally a small project created for a local game jam, the team got good feedback on the game and decided to go ahead and flesh it out into the adventure that we've got before us. In it, you find yourself stuck inside of a small life support shelter on the surface of an inhospitable planet that was destroyed by some kind of disaster. Your shelter's oxygen generator is broken, and your fuel tank is empty on top of some of the analysis systems being totally busted. In order to not die, you take control of drones and use them to scavenge materials from the few surrounding areas that you can still get a connection to. That'd be plenty of easy to handle without much issue, but you know what, you're not that lucky. There are these strange magnetic anomalies scattered around the areas that you need to visit, and they cause interference with your drones. Get too close to one and you'll lose connection because your drone gets fried, making that trip a total waste. And that's, bad. You only have a certain amount of energy per day, and a drone trip takes a lot of it. Hacking capsules that you find for resources also takes up some, as does attempting to synthesize fuel from the minerals you gather. Suffice it to say, each trip counts. Even one wasted excursion can mean the difference between life and death. At the top of the day, the player character writes in their journal. This is all the exposition we get, and it's actually pretty interesting. If you delve into the journal and dig for entries, you can find some really cool information about the world and your character. I'm still kind of piecing everything together, but it seems that your character was sent here as a catch for getting out of prison, and that the magnetic anomalies are more than just weird orbs that happen to be floating there. I think that they're tied to whatever caused the world to be in such a harsh state, but I'm really not sure. I gotta say, piloting the drones in Breached feels really, really good. It's so smooth and just the right amount of floaty. You left click to go forward, right click to brake, and use the mouse to steer. You never touch the keyboard in the entire game, and it's really easy to get a feel for things. The way the camera leans with your movements and the way the drone reacts to the shape of the ground just feels great, feels satisfying, and zipping around is really fun and responsive. The experience as a whole does a pretty great job of being immersive. From the moment you start playing it, it's really easy to put yourself in the same position as your character, easy to project what you're feeling onto them and to build them up. It helps that the controls are so simple, but the fact that both you, the player, and the character are stuck in a chair looking at a monitor for the whole thing is pretty clever. It feels like an intentional choice to get the player to give themselves to the game just a bit easier. I will say that the core gameplay loop is a bit repetitive. You explore an area, try to make some fuel, maybe hack a module or two, and then explore again, and you sleep and do it again. There isn't a lot of variance, and you only get the same 3 areas to explore throughout the 8 days that you have. It would have been really great to get different areas to visit as the game goes on, and I think that there's probably a lot of really cool stuff to explore on this planet. The environments that do exist are pretty awesome. They're gorgeous to look at and really fun to explore. To me, the simplicity of the loop is standable given that the game is only a few hours long at the most, and that it's pretty replayable. But the areas you visit, while large, just grow a little stale by the time you're done. It's a good thing the writing's so well done and that the game does an otherwise great job of pushing you to continue, to try to survive. Breached is a creative and honestly inspired exploration of an interesting sci-fi world, and despite its simplicity, it managed to be driving enough to get at least a couple of playthroughs out of me. You can get it for about $7 on Steam. If you're looking for a new universe to sink your teeth into for a little bit, then you should check this one out. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Be sure to check out the other content that we put out on this channel, and remember to drop me a line here on Twitter or through email with any game recommendations that you've got. You can find all that stuff down in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!